I'm gonna have to sell this motorcycle that I just bought. Damn it. The main issue is the power. This thing is ridiculous. At around 450 pounds, it has 128 horsepower before the stock exhaust is replaced. That makes this a sport bike. In fact, it shares the engine with the Speed Triple and the Sprint, a sport bike and sport touring bike respectively. Triumph makes a 1200cc Tiger, but you have to ask, why? Same old concept, I suppose. Bigger is better. The GS, the KTM, the Super Tenere all come to mind in that 1200 class. My twin 650 v-strom will get the job done, but it will not make me smile like this bike does. My previous v-strom, the 1000, that made me smile. Third gear wheelies tend to do that with me. But this bike has the power, the road handling, and so far it has been brilliant in the dirt, unlike my previous v-strom. I would love to have a 21-inch front rim, but I will make do for now. I brought it out to the twisty woods to listen to the aftermarket pipe. It's a Leo Vince. It sounds really good, but it's pretty loud. And I am not a loud pipe guy, and I never have been. I like to sneak in and sneak out of the road and the woods. I don't like anyone knowing that I'm coming or even there. Despite the fact that we all know that loud pipe saves lives, right? The tone is mostly in my ear. You can hear it, but it does not wake up the neighbors. And at low speeds, I might even be able to sneak into and out of the woods. I have the factory pipe, but for now, I think I will keep the Leo Vince hard-ons. I'm having way too much fun on this bike, and I'm gonna get in trouble or get myself killed. So I gotta sell it now, damn it. So this is the first ride on my motorcycle since I've gotten it. I rode it the other day up to Birmingham, a couple of hours before I had it set up correctly. In other words, set up something I can actually ride comfortably. Actually, it wasn't that bad. The handlebars were down here, about right there. So, sitting down, it wasn't that bad. I've ridden worse. But now I got the bars set up correctly. I got the mirror set up. I got the windshield set up. I got a kickstand that won't sink into the ground if I go anywhere other than pavement or concrete. So yeah, it has, and I have been blasting around all freaking day, and I have no idea how to tell you how awesome that has been. But yeah, so awesome freaking day. Almost towards the end. I'm going to run some errands on the bike, so it's not quite the end of the day, but I do want to get back before the traffic hits. I'm not a rush hour guy. I have been avoiding rush hour for the last 30 years, mostly successfully. This thing handles fantastic in the dirt. Not a dual sport, but you know what? It doesn't have to be. Wow. I just got hung up on something. My pants. I don't know. I may have been hung up on the new kickstand. So this is we're on one of the main roads that belongs to the mine. There's all kinds of mining activity going on out here. I think mostly this road is a river transport. I'm not really sure exactly what. I think it's some kind of a terminal down here on the river. I was going to try to go down to that today, but I couldn't get into the spot that I've been to. So, but this is the heart of the operation of what was once Jim Walter's mine. Before that, it was the Kellerman mine. But yeah, all kinds of history around here. I did some videos on the history, the historical stuff. A bunch of ruins in here. There's an old mine shaft fan over here. I just did some really cool stuff I found out in the woods, and
I did a series on Kellerman, Alabama, and the historical stuff. There used to be 5,000 people that lived in a town called Kellerman over here, and now they're all gone because they strip mined it. So basically, it was a company-owned town. The company owned the property, the houses, everything, and they got to the point where the mine wasn't as active as it once was, and they closed down the mine. So yeah, there's some old tunnels I filmed. I filmed the history I filmed the search for these tunnels, these old railway tunnels for the Kellerman Railway, which is a story in itself. But I'll link those videos up here, and you go check those out. I did most of those on the Dual Sport, the 650 X Challenge, which is a very capable bike. And there's not a lot of the stuff that I went to in those videos that I want to go back on this bike, but mostly because it's got street tires. There's a lot of stuff I can get back to on this bike. But yeah, there's almost nothing I would try to get to on that RT because that's just stupid. Yeah, we're going from kind of wet to very wet. Yeah, let's hope the brakes work here. Oh yeah. Yeah, any much more than that, I'd need some mud tires. Let's get on it, baby.
You know, I sold my last sport bike about 14 years ago for good reason, because I kept getting in trouble with it. But even worse, I could not ride that sport bike in the dirt. It was just brutal. It shook my teeth loose. It was just not fun. So it's really glad to be back riding a very sporty bike that's very capable in the dirt. Pretty excited about it.
One thing I can tell you is I am so glad to be back on something that's capable off-road, something that I don't have to crawl over little lumps in the road, and something I could actually go up a hill. If I had the right tires on, I could probably go just about anywhere that I want to go. Which is, you know, I'm not doing single track, I'm not doing jumps, I'm not doing the gnarly hard enduro stuff. So far, this is a plenty capable bike. I've taken it down a couple of dirt roads so far. So far, this is just freaking amazing. And I can't believe I waited so long to get another elevated dual sport. I talked about ADV bikes the other day, and I may have pissed some people off. I don't know. I don't really care if you're that uptight about your bike or what somebody else is riding. I don't know what to tell you, but for me, ADV bikes is a class of bikes that's pretty identifiable. You know, some of the manufacturers try to stretch the definition of what an ADV bike is. You know, and when it comes down to it, you can call any bike whatever the hell you want to call it. But if it fits in a group where most people agree, at least maybe most manufacturers. You know, it's an ADV bike if you have an adventure on it. So that means any bike with two wheels, you could probably have an adventure on. You know, it's you could have an adventure on a 4 horsepower lawnmower engine scooter. So, you know, what is an ADV bike? For me, it's approaching a dual sport in functionality. Probably the best definition is a really large dual sport. You know, it does most of the things you want to do on a dirt road, and maybe a few pig trails, and it will carry all your crap, which is really important to me. So that's the downside of the dual sport genre. And you know, once you get up above 700 cc's, 800 cc's, you're starting to move into the adventure bike, as far as I'm concerned, because they will carry the bigger loads. They will run down the interstate if you need to get from point A to point B. And most importantly, you can run 70, 80 miles an hour for hours at a time and not feel worn out. You know, your thumpers, typically I don't think of any thumper as an ADV bike. Although you can have plenty of adventures on them, you know, so it's class. It's a class of motorcycles, and I've gotten into this discussion with people before, and they get all pissed off because they want to have an adventure bike, or they have an adventure bike and they don't want you to have one. I don't know what the hell all the anger and frustration is, but it kind of frustrates me sometimes. But yeah, I mean, you could definitely have an adventure on your Harley, and you could definitely take your Harley off-road. You can take your Harley into stuff like this. Is it going to be bouncing across a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be bouncing this? Yeah, I don't know, maybe. But all I know is I'm much more comfortable on this than I can ever be on a cruiser or any kind of a road bike in general. And that's all of them. All the road-oriented bikes, maybe that's where you start. You say it's a street bike that you can take out in the woods a little bit. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm loving being back. I'm back, baby!
I'm back, baby! I'm like a phoenix rising from Arizona.
One thing I can tell you for sure is that there are going to be adventures coming up. Unless I crash this thing or get locked up for doing stupid stuff on the highway, you're going to see some amazing stuff coming up. I'm hoping next weekend I can get up and do some stuff in the woods. Can't go too far on these tires, but I can get out in the woods. I can go somewhere and camp, and all that's coming up. And we got the rallies coming up in the first week in April, and the following after the week after. So stay tuned and share this video with your friends and let everybody know what's going on here. And I'll see you next time.